The key to a happy life, understanding the law of causality. 幸福人生之要，了解因果法则。Third law, small cause resulting in a big effect. 第三，因小果大。Third law, small cause resulting in a big effect. A tiny cause can turn into a huge effect. It is like a small watermelon seed buried in the dirt, growing into many big watermelons. And in these big watermelons, there are many more watermelon seeds. As the adage goes, give one and beget 10,000 in return is true. Regarding this point, there is a story illustrated in the Buddhist sutras. When Buddha was on earth, there was an old servant of a Brahmin elder who took some spoiled food out of the house and was preparing to dump it out. The moment she went outside and saw the solemn image of the Buddha, deep and profound respect arose from her heart. She wanted to make an offering to Buddha, but all she had was the spoiled food in hand. How could she offer it to the noble Buddha? Just as she hesitated, Buddha began to smile and emit light, happily using his bowl to scoop up the spoiled food from the old woman's hand. Buddha then turned his head and told Ananda, "This old woman is wholeheartedly devout. Because of the merit of her sincere offering to Buddha, in the future she will have 15 kalpas, such a long time, to enjoy happiness in heaven. And after the 15th kalpa, she would descend into the human realm, where she would have the karmic condition of being a monk." At this time, the old woman's master, the Brahmin elder, happened to walk out of the house. Hearing what Buddha said, he thought it was very incredible. Buddha then asked the Brahmin elder, "Have you ever seen other incredible things?" The elder replied, "Yes. One time we had 500 horse-drawn carriages traveling together. Because of the hot weather, we went to find a big tree to enjoy the shade. This big tree could cover all 500 carriages, and there was still extra shade left over. The size of the tree was truly unbelievable." Buddha then asked, "Do you know how big was the seed of this great tree?" The elder replied, "As small as a mustard seed." Buddha said, "This is correct. This is the theory of a small cause creating a large effect. Although the cause of the elderly servant making an offering to Buddha was very small, it begot a big effect. The principle is based on the speed of mind, which is way too fast. According to Maitreya Bodhisattva, in the snap of a finger, there are 3.2 billion 100,000 thoughts. Each one shapes a form, and in every form exists consciousness. One finger snap contains 320 trillion thoughts. The unit is 100 times 1,000, 100,000. 3.2 billion times 100,000. That is 320 trillion. In one finger snap, there are 320 trillion thoughts. In 1 second, supposedly, you can snap your fingers 7 times. 320 trillion times 7. It will become 2,240 trillion thoughts. In 1 second, there are 2,240 trillion thoughts, and each thought is independent. The frequency of this kind of subtle thoughts is too high, so Maitreya Bodhisattva said that each thought is extremely fine, and there is no way to hold it. It is too fast. The speed of thought is so fast that within a very short period of time, myriad seeds are planted, and in the future, the time for them to become effects is then very long. The cause and effect story of Maudgalyayana is recorded in the Buddhist sutras. In the past, Maudgalyayana had one life where he tried to kill his parents. In that life, both of his parents were blind, and his wife was reluctant to take care of her blind in-laws. She tried various ways to make her husband become resentful of his parents, said a lot of bad things to estrange them, and finally instigated her husband to kill his parents. The husband was abetted by her, and actually gave rise to the evil-hearted intention of killing his own parents. Following the plan, one day, he took his parents out and brought them to a forest. When they were in the forest, he made his parents believe that robbers came. With the wooden stick that he had prepared, he viciously hit his parents, trying to beat them to death. Unexpectedly, as he was savagely beating them, they did not call on him to save them, but shouted for their son to quickly run for his life instead, lest he be harmed by the robbers. He was so moved by his parents' unconditional love that his conscience came into play. He knelt down in front of them and repented for his wrongdoing. Because of this evil karma of intending to kill his own parents, his life was shortened, and upon death he fell into the hell realm, suffering a long period of torture. After leaving hell, he still had to endure the bitterness of the hungry ghost and animal realms. When he finally reincarnated as a human, he died brutally beaten until his bones were pulverized into pieces, in each life for 500 lives. Even in his life as Maudgalyayana, there was no exception. He followed Buddha as a disciple, attained arhathood, and became Buddha's #1 disciple in supernal power. However, when the karmic condition had matured, he became unable to enter samadhi and unable to use his supernal power due to his severe karma remaining so strong. This is where the saying, "Even supernal power cannot overcome karma," comes from. As a result, he was brutally beaten by a group of heretics until every bone in his body was broken into pieces, and thus entered nirvana. This story clearly illustrates the principle of a small cause resulting in a big effect. He tried to murder his parents only once in that life. How come it caused so many lifetimes of tremendously bitter retribution? The reason is because the speed of the mind is too fast. So even if it is only one evil karma, it results in myriad karmic causes. For example, if in that past life, he hid his parents for half an hour, according to Maitreya Bodhisattva's explanation, in a second, if one can snap his fingers 7 times, then in a second one can plant 2,240 trillion extremely evil karma by attempting to murder his parents, and multiplied by 1,800 times for half an hour. The huge number of evil karmic seeds planted is astonishing. This extremely evil karma resulted not just in a shortened sickly life, known as the flower retribution, but also the fruit retribution of his next life reincarnation in hell. After finishing the sentence in hell, he was then reincarnated into the animal and the hungry ghost realms for the remainder retribution, and the next 500 lifetimes as a human, all ending with his bones beaten into pieces, were still the remainder retributions of this one past evil karma that he had created. From this example, we can see how the severe karma can lead to the flower, the fruit, and the remainder retributions. It is truly like one aftermath following another, with no end in sight. Seeing how fierce this karmic retribution can be, do you still want to be rebellious and hurt your parents? Do you still dare to commit other bad karmas? I Ching, the Book of Changes, CT chapter says, the family that accumulates goodness is sure to have abundant remainder auspiciousness, and the family that accumulates evil is sure to have abundant remainder misery. The meaning is that a family which accumulates good deeds will gain extra prosperity, and their future generations will be blessed. And the family that accumulates evil will have extra sins and bring disaster to their future generations. This passage is an evident testimony of a small cause resulting in a big effect. Master Yin Guang said, "Since there are remainder auspiciousness and remainder retribution, there must be original auspiciousness and original retribution." The original auspiciousness refers to the person enjoying the good fruit retribution of his own good karma. The remainder auspiciousness is the fortune he creates for his descendants. That is the remainder retribution from his good causes. Original retribution refers to a person suffering evil retribution of his own evil karma. Remainder retribution is his evil retribution, passing on to his descendants from his evil karma. We also must understand that not only is the effect bigger than the cause, but the longer for the retribution to take effect, the more grievous the retribution becomes. Like a debt, the longer it takes to pay back, the more interest there is. Therefore, after we commit a sin, we must quickly repent and start to do good deeds diligently to lessen the bad karma. Or even better, take the consequences as early as possible to lighten your retribution for a grave sin and avoid severe suffering in the future. Buddhism has a saying, "Bodhisattvas fear the cause, while mortals are afraid only of the effect." Bodhisattvas here refer to the awakened ones who understand the principle of a small cause resulting in a big effect. They know after committing sins, the future retribution will be extremely horrific, so they remain vigilant and cautious. Do not dare to commit bad karmic causes. In regards to current bad retribution, Bodhisattvas know that it is brought upon from the bad karmic seeds of their past lives' transgressions, and that after taking the retribution it will be paid off. Since there is nothing to be scared of, Bodhisattvas can calmly accept the retribution, and will not arise affliction. This is accepting retribution as it comes, and never creating new evil karmas. Let the evil karma be resolved, in accordance with the condition. Do not plant more bad seeds, so you will not have to suffer new retribution. Mortals are deluded and bewildered. They only see bad retribution as scary. They spare no effort to escape retribution because they do not know the only way to avoid evil retribution is to stop creating bad karma. When a mortal suffers the evil retribution, his affliction arises. In order to escape evil retribution, he is not hesitant to sacrifice others to benefit himself, thus committing all sorts of evil karmas. After creating new evil karmas, he sees no imminent consequences, so he is not afraid to keep going. If he continues to create bad karma, the causal effects will become unbearably heavy. This is what Buddhas call a lamentable person. Due to the unawareness of causality, a mortal is constantly afflicted, creating bad causes and suffering from bad effects. After suffering, more affliction arises in him. He then creates more bad karma and suffers more again. Such a pattern repeats itself, making him endlessly transmigrated in the suffering sea of samsara.